Did Knuck really just shoot Reg? This is the moment the Chi fans never saw coming, and it changes everything. In episode 7 of the Chi season 7, things were already starting to feel tense. Emmett is still trying to hold things together, but it's getting harder by the day. His relationship with Kaisha is strained, and his past decisions are starting to catch up with him. Meanwhile, Tiff's bond with Rob is clearly not as solid as it used to be. She's been giving him the cold shoulder, keeping secrets, and now she's spending more time in her own world than in his. Rob knows something is off, but he doesn't know just how bad it's about to get. Reg, on the other hand, has been playing a dangerous game. He wants to be a boss again, to get back what he lost. But the streets have changed. The people he used to control don't fear him like they used to. And Knuck, he's no longer the same man. He's colder, more focused, and he's not afraid to step over anyone, even Reg, to get what he wants. One of the key moments in episode 7 was the quiet tension between Nuck and Reg. You could feel it every time they were in the same room. Their conversations weren't loud or dramatic, but every word carried weight. Every stare, every pause, it all hinted at something darker brewing between them. In one scene, Knuck told Reg, "You think you still run things, huh?" And Reg just smirked. But deep down, he knew that smirk couldn't save him anymore. Episode 7 also gave us a closer look at how power is shifting. People on the block are starting to look at Knuck differently. He's not just a side character anymore. He's becoming the man in charge. And while Reg is trying to make a comeback, it feels like he's moving too slow, saying too much, and not watching his back closely enough. By the end of the episode, there was this eerie silence that lingered after the final scene. No explosions, no fights, just that deep, quiet feeling that something bad was about to happen. Fans could tell it was too calm, too quiet. Something was about to explode. And now, heading into episode 8, that explosion might be here. Knuck versus Reg, two men who used to be on the same side, now standing across from each other, and only one might make it out alive. There's a moment right before everything breaks. A quiet, uneasy calm. That's where the Chi was living in episode 7. And now in episode 8, that calm is about to snap. You can feel it in the air, in the way characters move, talk, and look at each other. Knuck isn't yelling. He's not causing scenes, but every time he steps into a room, people go quiet. That's what real power looks like. Silent, steady, dangerous. Meanwhile, Reg is trying to make noise. He's calling in favors, making promises, reminding everyone who he used to be. But the thing is, the block doesn't care about who you were. It only listens to who's holding it down right now. And that's not Reg anymore. Behind the scenes, loyalty is cracking. People who used to ride for Reg are starting to back away. They're not picking sides out loud, not yet. But their silence says everything. The ones who were once his loudest supporters are now just nodding quietly, avoiding eye contact, waiting to see which way the wind is blowing. That's how street politics work. No one says it out loud, but everybody knows what's coming. Knuck has always played the long game. He doesn't just want to take over. He wants to erase Reg completely. Not just from the street, but from memory. And in episode 8, you see that plan starting to take shape. It starts small. A few corners that used to report to Reg. Now they're paying Knuck. A crew that once rode with Reg. Now they're standing behind Knuck at meetings. It's quiet, but it's loud enough for Reg to hear. And he doesn't like it. There's a scene early in the episode that says it all. Reg walks into a spot he used to run, and Knuck is already there, sitting like he owns it. The room goes still. Knuck doesn't stand up, doesn't flinch, just stares. Reg forces a smile, but it's thin. He knows what's happening. This ain't his house anymore. And the worst part, nobody says a word to defend him. Asterisk, that's when the rumors start. Reg is slipping. Reg's got no muscle. Reg's about to fall. And Knuck? He just keeps moving quietly, one block at a time, turning Reg's old world into his own kingdom. Asterisk, but Reg isn't going out easy. He's planning something. You can see it in his eyes, the way he's watching Knuck, the way he's talking less and listening more. He's got a plan. But the question is, does he still have time? Asterisk. Because in this game, hesitation is deadly. And Knuck? Knuck's already reaching for the trigger. Asterisk. Sometimes, it takes less than 5 seconds to end a history that took years to build. A glance, a breath, a bullet. And just like that, everything breaks. Asterisk, it didn't happen with a big speech. There was no loud warning, no street-wide shootout. It was fast, personal, close range. The moment that shook the chi didn't explode. It cracked, like a mirror under pressure. 1 second, Reg was alive, maybe too confident, maybe still thinking he had control. And the next, Knuck pulled the trigger. No hesitation. No mercy. Asterisk, the scene plays out with a cold kind of silence. It doesn't feel like a TV moment. It feels real. There's tension, yes, but there's also something more painful underneath. Betrayal. Because Reg didn't expect it. He knew Knuck was a threat, but not this. Not like that. He thought maybe they could still talk, still work things out. But Knuck wasn't here to talk. He was here to finish something. Asterisk, the shot comes after a stare down. The two lock eyes, and for a second, it almost feels like they're remembering everything. The past, the loyalty, the streets they walk together. But then Knuck lifts his arm. The camera doesn't flinch. It shows the fear in Reg's eyes, the disbelief. He's not ready. He thought he had more time. He thought he had a way out. But Knuck doesn't blink. Bang. Asterisk. That sound doesn't echo. It lands. Heavy, sharp, final, and Reg drops. The camera lingers, not to be dramatic, but to make you feel it. This isn't just another body. This is Reg, a character who's been with us through so much. A brother, a soldier, a survivor. And now, just another body on the pavement. Another name in the war for power. Asterisk, what happens next is chaos, but not the kind with sirens and running feet. It's internal, silent panic. People on Knuck's side exchange nervous glances. Even they didn't know he would really do it. One of them backs up, stunned. Another one checks to make sure no one's watching. But Knuck? He doesn't move. Doesn't look away. He stares down at what he just did like it was always part of the plan. Asterisk, and maybe it was. Asterisk, what makes this scene hit so hard isn't just the gunshot. It's the silence afterward. The way time feels frozen. The way the show forces us to sit in the aftermath. It's not about the sound, it's about what it means. Reg is down. Possibly gone. And there's no going back. Asterisk, that one act turns the whole game upside down. If Reg dies, it creates a vacuum. If he survives, it sparks a war. Either way, Knuck just crossed a line that can't be UNCROSSED. And as the screen fades to black, you're left with one question echoing in your mind. Asterisk. Did Knuck really just do that? When a king falls, the streets don't mourn quietly. They shift. They whisper. they bleed. And after Knuck pulled that trigger, the cheese stopped breathing for a second. Reg hitting the ground isn't just the fall of one man. It's the collapse of a legacy. For years, Reg held a position of power, fear, and respect. People moved when he spoke. Corners stood still when he walked by. Now, the block is confused, broken, and wide open. The ones who were loyal are scared. The ones who were waiting, they're ready to pounce. In the hours after the shooting, rumors move faster than facts. Some say Reg didn't make it. Others swear he's still alive, clinging on, whispering names in the eye. But there's no confirmation, just silence. And that silence? It's dangerous. Because in a city like this, not knowing is what makes people act out. Friends become enemies. Enemies turn reckless. Everyone's wondering the same thing. What happens now? For Emmett, this changes everything. He might have stepped away from the streets, but the streets never stepped away from him. Reg was more than just a player. He was connected. And Emmett? He's tied to that past. Whether he wants to or not, he's about to get pulled right back into a game he tried to leave behind. The question is, does he run or does he rise? And what about Douda? This kind of move doesn't happen without shaking the foundation he built. If Knuck did this without approval, it's a problem. If he did have Douda's blessing, then that means Reg was marked from the start. Either way, there's going to be fallout. And Douda? He's too smart to let a power shift like this go unchecked. Meanwhile, Tiff and Rob are on edge. Their world is already cracking. And now, with Reg possibly out of the picture, alliances are going to shift fast. Tiff has always been smart. She sees the storm coming. Rob, though, he's too close to the fire. His loyalty, his bloodline, his pride, they're all tied up in this mess. And if Reg is really gone, Rob might not wait to think. He might just react. But here's where it gets deeper. Fans are starting to ask the real questions. Was this personal? Was Reg set up by someone on his own team? Did Knuck act alone? Or was this part of a much bigger plan? Some even think Reg faked his death, that the hit was staged, and he's going underground to hit back harder. Others believe this is the final chapter for him, and the story is now shifting fully into Knuck's rise and reign. Social media is already flooded with theories. Some fans are calling this the most shocking moment in the Kai's history. Others are furious. They weren't ready to say goodbye to Reg. And then there are those who think this is just the beginning of a war that's going to burn through the rest of the season. What we do know is this. Episode 8 is a turning point. Nothing will be the same. Whether Reg lives or dies, the street just changed hands. And in the change always comes with blood. So now we wait. We watch. And we wonder, what kind of king is Knuck about to become? And who's coming for the crown next? You don't survive in the Chi by being the loudest. You survive by being the last one standing. And after that gunshot, every character is about to be tested. Episode 8 isn't just another episode. It's a reckoning. Everything that's been simmering under the surface is about to boil over. The alliances, the betrayals, the power plays. The streets won't stay quiet for long. If Reg is gone, there's a price to be paid. If he's still alive, there's a storm on the way, and Knuck might be standing right in the center of it. Let's talk about what we might see next. First. Retaliation. Someone, maybe Rob, maybe Emmett, maybe even a silent player we haven't seen in a while, is going to respond. Whether it's with bullets or with brains, that shot fired at Reg won't go unanswered. Knuck might think he's taken the crown, but holding it. That's the hard part. Second. Douda. He's been operating from the shadows for too long. Now that one of the key players is possibly out of the game, he might make a move to secure control or clean house. We've seen what Douda is capable of. Calm on the outside, ruthless underneath. If this shooting wasn't sanctioned, someone's going to pay. If it was sanctioned, then this whole war might have been planned from the beginning. Third. The emotional fallout. This isn't just about street wars. It's about what happens when families get dragged into them. Kaisha and Emmett's relationship is already fragile. What happens when Emmett gets pulled back into a violent world he promised to leave behind? What happens if he has to choose between survival and the family he's trying to protect? And finally, Reg himself. We still don't know his fate. Some fans think he's alive. Others believe that gunshot was the end. The Chi has a history of keeping secrets close, and they love pulling the rug out from under us. So don't be surprised if Reg shows up when no one expects it, or if his absence creates a new legend that turns the block upside down. Episode 8 is going to set the tone for the rest of the season. And from what we've seen so far, nothing is safe. No one is safe. The streets are changing, and blood is already on the ground. So now the question is, will Knuck take over? Or will someone take him out? Keep watching. Stay ready. Because, in the Chi, power isn't given. It's taken. Episode 8 drops soon. Subscribe for breakdowns, theories, and all the fallout. Drop your predictions in the comments. Is Reg alive? Who's coming next?